What's good, goobers? I'm Spook, and welcome to another video on the Spook Animation channel. As of recording this, I am actually sick, so if I sound kind of weird, that's why. But for today's video, I did have an interesting concept. So, you know how normally people will just input prompts into the AI and then they'll just spit out whatever slop they want, whether it be video or image? I had the idea that what if I asked AI what I should animate as a human to see what would happen if like the roles were changed. I don't really expect much from the AI because it's probably just going to give me some generic slop idea, but I'm going to ask it to give me like something unique and I'll get back to you once I ask the AI. Also, I'm not sure what AI I'm going to use because I don't have any AIs downloaded, but see you in a minute. All right, day two, and I'm still sick, but here's what the AI said: the desk object revolt. And then it also came up with another one: paper cutout adventures, claymation. I think it gave like five ideas. But for the first one, the desk object revolt, as I guess I'm going to call it now, pick a few everyday items on your desk, like a stapler, an eraser, and a pen, and make them come to life when a human leaves the room. So this is a pretty, I guess, interesting concept for the AI. I mean, it's not really that crazy, but I guess I'll just take like this Rubik's Cube that was on my desk and this pencil here and have them start moving. And, maybe it's like the human was never in the room to begin with. So maybe they just, you know, come to life. So I'm going to start getting an idea for what's going to happen with that, and then I'll be back. All right. I think I kind of have an idea now. Rather than a human leaving the room, I'm just going to make this guy here be watching this stuff. When he turns around, I'm going to animate this stuff to kind of get closer, and then he like hears something maybe, and he's like, whoa, this stuff is moving maybe, but it stops as it's kind of hard to explain. I guess not really, but you know what I'm saying? Like this stuff moves, then he goes and like kind of like that, right? So that's the idea. Maybe I'll have this like rotate so I can access its mobility. Have this pencil, my bad, turn, and that's going to be the idea for the desk object revolt. That's such a weird name. All right, that's it for that. I think I'm gonna start trying to animate this now, and since now I can kind of like edit like better than the last video, I'm gonna try and just add this to add the animation right after this. Okay, wish me luck. All right, there's that animation. It came out pretty good, I think. Um, it was a little janky because this guy here actually started to like completely fall apart since I didn't make a skeleton for him. Like you know how you can have those like wire skeletons? You just put some wire and then it holds the figure together. I did not do that for this guy, but it was fine. I think the animation came out pretty solid. And so that's pretty much it for that animation. I don't think it was that bad. But now it's time for the second animation. Poor guy, he just got mutilated. All right. So for the next one, it said, let me see. All right, it said claymation shapeshifter. Take a simple ball of clay and animate it constantly morphing into different objects. Use objects of fruit, an animal, a car, and back into a ball. Okay, that's kind of weird, but I guess it's not, you know. So for the simple ball of clay, well, we actually have a guy here. I could just get my other clay, but why not if he's just already right here and he's already been mutilated? So there's no point in holding back. So for our simple ball of clay, I guess I'm gonna just use this, and then I'm gonna kidnap a fruit from the kitchen, probably. And I think it's at a car. So I guess that's pretty simple though. All I have to do is just animate um, this ball of clay turning into stuff. That's pretty easy. Um, so I guess I'll just round this out and try and do that. I think what I'm going to be able to do with this is I'll have the fruit on me right now, or the car, or whatever else it wanted. But by interchanging between frames, like some two things that are of similar shape, you can kind of make it look like it's changing into that thing. Like this wouldn't work with this because this is way bigger. I mean, it might, but if it was like really like this, maybe, and then squared to be the same size, and then I like interchange these two like this, like boom, 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 boom. That's kind of how you could get an effect like that. So I'm gonna try that, and now we're on to the second animation, um, claymation shapeshifter or whatever it was called. The AI prompt thing should have been on screen. All right, I'm gonna do that now. All right, so that's 2 out of 5. Our guy here has officially been obliterated, though, for the purposes of science, but no matter. I'll just remake him for the next video. It's pretty easy, but fun fact, there's probably at least one person that didn't know this, but tomatoes are, in fact, fruits, I think. Take that with a grain of salt, but I'm like 90% sure. Anyways, that's the second animation. I also thought that was pretty good. I kind of liked it better than the first one, but the next one is also pretty weird. It wants me, I think it said, yeah, let me check. Paper cutout adventure. Cut out a character and a few backgrounds from colored paper. You can make side scroller action scene like Mario level, moving left to right, like a Mario level. But you get the point. So basically, it wants me to cut out a paper guy and have him like moving across like a paper scene, I guess. What if I just do it on my desk? Oh, I think I have an idea for the next one. But my desk is going to be obliterated if I do it. But I'm going to do it. So, hold on. I'll get back. All right. So, I've created this absolute monstrosity, which is like a little background on the desk. We've got some clouds, some grass, some Minecrafty looking flowery thing. Anyways, this entire monstrosity that I've created, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this sticking stuff off my desk, but I'll worry about that later. This is all the setup for our glorious protagonist, Shrek Wazowski, who is going to be in this beautiful scenery, taking a walk down this pristine field of whatever this is, and that's going to be the animation. I know, it's genius, But now then, it's time for the animating part. Next thing you guys should see is a clip of the animation. Well, that's the third animation done. That was definitely something for sure. Now I'm gonna clean up my desk and I'm gonna see what the next animation is. That was pretty majestic though, you gotta admit. I took these little grass blades kind of things and I just kind of moved them back and forth to simulate some majestic wind. Kind of look like worms. Huh. Anyways, now I'm gonna clean up the desk area and on to the next animation. Alright, so that last animation was pretty crazy, but I think it does count as the paper whatchamacallit animation that the AI wanted, because this Shrek Wazowski is in fact made of paper. That's so weird. But I'm pretty sure that that's pretty good. I mean, it wasn't a paper background, but you could argue that it was actually better. That was a very majestic animation, if I do say so myself. I think the next one was something to do with food. So I'll try that out. Hopefully it's as good as this majestic animation. I was going to run it at 5 frames per second, but it ended up just looking really, really choppy. And so the 8 frames per second that I used on this one, the Shrek Wazowski animation, the clay, no, not the clay, the paper whatchamacallit, I forget what it's called, but the paper whatchamacallit animation that the AI wanted, I think was a success. Next one. I'll tell you what it is in a second because I forgot again. Ow. All right, so the last one was apparently called Paper Cutout Adventure, according to the AI. But since I made it, I'm just going to call it the Thingamajig animation, I guess. But the next one is the Magic Recipe, apparently. Animate food preparing itself, show ingredients floating out of the fridge, chopping themselves up, and landing neatly in a bowl. Now, I don't know how possible that is for me. So instead of that, I'm just gonna make a egg cook itself by transitioning my hand over it. Um, this is probably gonna be the worst of the animations, but it should be food cooking itself. So that technically qualifies for the fourth animation. All right, I'm gonna get doing that now. Apparently, I gotta cook an egg for this. I'll be back. All right, I have no clue what happened to this egg when I was cooking it, but it does look annihilated. But I do say that was a pretty excellent animation. Had to do that. Also, if I do sound like Squidward throughout this entire video, it is because I'm sick. But I think the next animation had to do with Legos. So I'm gonna see what the AI said and try and check that out. Yeah, this was a pretty decent animation. I'm not sure what I did to this egg to make it look like this, but there you have it. Next one. I'll get back to you after I read the thingy because I forget these. All right, for the last one, it's Lego Heist. Build a quick minifigure setup and shoot a dramatic 10-second action scene complete with a dramatic slow motion jump. That is pretty interesting request, I guess. I'll do that. For this one, I'm just gonna have Steve and the Lego Warden, which this is actually a pretty nice figure, I do admit. But I'm basically gonna have the Warden chasing after Steve in the void that is my desk, and I'm going to make one of them perform a what was it? A slow motion jump. And so I'm thinking I'm just gonna use some clay to just stick it, make a little platform for one of them to make it give the illusion that they're in the air, like this kind of. And then I'll just edit out the clay part and replace it with my desk background, like so. So this should be pretty simple. The AI only wanted it to be 10 seconds long for some reason, so I'm gonna get to it then. All right, that's it for the final animation. It was very loosely based off of what the AI said. I mean, it did have Steve jumping. I wouldn't consider that like a super dramatic jump, but it was pretty good. It wasn't as excellent as the last one, but it was kind of janky. I accidentally moved the camera in a few times while I was animating it. But for anyone who hasn't played Minecraft, basically I just made the warden do like a sonic boom, shooting Steve with it. But if you have played Minecraft, then you know. But it's basically just like an energy beam that the warden can shoot. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the 5th animation. All right, that's it for all 5 animations. If you did like the video, consider liking, subscribing, drop a comment on what you'd like to see change in the future. And that's it for the 2nd video on the Spook Animation channel. Peace out.